right, so this goes live. There's comments that people, yeah, because I comment on this.
Yeah, so we'll all be
Yes.
trying to pay attention to that. And as a matter of fact, we're live, right, Deeds?
Yes, we're definitely live, but yeah, good
And
morning,
there it
everybody.
goes. Damien just texted me, no show. Yes, there is a show. And Damien, it is going live right now. Oh, shit. Where did I go?
He's gone.
I still,
Am I there?
Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, you're there.
you're
No, I
there.
can't see myself. Are you there?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, shite. What happened?
Yeah, we can see you. So don't pick your
Let's
nose or
see
nothing.
here. There we go.
He's
There we go.
back.
All right. So
He's
yes,
back.
we are live. What is up? Happy Friday. Happy Friday.
Happy
It's your
Friday.
boy
Good morning.
Jason Gulick with my partner in crime, Mark Deeds Kladzinski,
I
and the
dig
man
it.
to my right, 2 doors down, not 3 doors down, 2 doors down.
Here
Needs
beside
very
you
little
every
introduction
day.
because almost everybody knows him. Mr. Craig Hendzel.
Oh,
Happy Friday, Craig.
what
Happy
did we
Friday. Welcome to the Goo and Deeds
there?
podcast.
Wait, I got screens everywhere here. There we are. I think is this where I want to be? Yes.
Yes, that's it.
This is exactly where you want to be.
Well, yeah, this is where I want to be with the window cleaners, but I'll tell you what, this is the hardest thing I ever have to do is anything with the computer. I suck at this stuff.
It happens.
Well,
No.
it's super awesome that you joined us. We want to say thank you real quick. I know Grace just took off, but thank you to Grace for making sure that you're all set up properly and everything's good to go.
Cheers to Grace.
I know without certain people, we can't get anything done. Guys like you and I, a lot of it, I'm the same way. Craig, don't feel too bad. Deeds make sure that all of this stuff goes off without a hitch on a tri-weekly or however you say 3 times a week.
Whoa, back up.
What up?
And
Deeds and Gula. Oh, my wife.
My wife is very helpful.
live.
So helpful.
Yeah, because you know what? It's exactly what you're talking about. I couldn't do this without Grace. You probably couldn't do this without.
Nope. I would go nuts. I'd have nine attempts.
Yeah, it's sometimes impossible. You know what's funny? If you ask my wife,
My wife. His wife.
I don't know I don't know how many times in the, I don't know, 14, I've known her since high school days and all, but we've been married, I think we're going on 14 years. Yeah.
Awesome.
But hey, what's her name? Hey, hey, that's her name. I'm my wife or
My wife.
your wife.
Yeah.
I get it. My
Yes.
wife. Yeah, we can't
Exactly.
do things without them.
Nope. They are critical. They're like the latch link in the fence, hanging on to the hole.
So true. Now, I'm trying to think at the huge, you guys were solo each time, right?
Correctamundo.
Yeah. My wife came
My
to
wife.
2, 3. Grace has been to 2 or 3. I'm trying to think, did you guys even meet my wife when she was there at the huge? Because everything was everywhere.
Exactly.
I did briefly when we had dinner
That's right.
the last night or my last night. But unfortunately, because it was so there was 12 of us. So I was at the back end of the table, she was at the front end, so I didn't get much interaction with her, but I did get I'm glad that you brought this up actually, because I got a bunch of interaction with Grace and with her husband, Hunter. And I've been wanting to get him on the show, but we're gonna try if he's around, if you see him later today, if you see him this weekend.
Every Sunday they come over for dinner.
Okay, well, let him know. I do want to get him in the show one of these days.
SpaghettiOs and Oreos.
We're trying to get through the first 100 episodes, and then I would love to have him in the show because I want to get a perspective on what it was like at the Huge from somebody who's not a pro window cleaner, but
A
what it's
family
like,
member.
but what it's like to watch others and the interaction on what it goes on. So I want to get his perspective, and he was already on board with coming in. But his days off and our days off and haven't matched up. And then the one time he did have a day off, we already had a guest on. So we're gonna have to book him far out.
We make that happen, but you bring up a great point because when we window cleaners, we're window cleaners, the power washers, whoever goes for whatever, the Christmas lights, I don't even know what.
We can identify as whatever nowadays.
Whatever
Yeah.
they identify at these conventions, which I don't know. I'm a purist, window cleaning purist, but when they, we all have to take time to go to these things away from our family or bring the family. They make it a family environment, but then when we're there, I'll be honest with you guys, when I'm there, the only thing I'm thinking about is window cleaning. If you want me not to think about window cleaning on vacation with my family, don't put me in a window cleaning environment. It's hard
Correct.
enough to go anywhere and not want to critique every window anyways. But
Yes.
yeah, my wife doesn't like to go to those because it's, kind of boring for her unless there's an actual beach with sharks in the water somewhere.
Yep.
Which I will never, I don't go to the beach myself. Did anybody, you guys go to the beach? Anybody in the comments, does anybody go to the beach?
I know you guys go dip your toes in the shark-infested waters.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I haven't been in a hot minute.
Jellyfish are out there too.
Fletcher,
I have
I
not
see.
been in
Good
a hot
morning,
minute.
everybody. And yeah, I don't know.
Good morning.
My hair, I need a cut, but it's getting to be winter. I slow that cutting of the hair down a little bit. I like to clean up around the ears and the back. But Fletcher was commenting about the hair. Yeah, I like to keep it longer and warmer in the winter, but I also don't like to look like too much like a hippie in the back and all that.
Nope.
So speaking of that, I'm in the process. I've grown my hair out before. I did it right before I turned 40. It about 2.5, 3 years worth, and it came down to about here. I'm about 3 years away from my 50th, and I'm in that process again. So mine will slowly transform into a long flowing lock.
Yeah,
Locks.
it's all winter. This will be under my Elmer Fudd hat, so it actually grow the top out longer and it snugs in. I put my ball cap on, my Elmer Fudd cap on, which I'm kind of bummed out because I've been in search for an exact duplicate of that hat. I don't know who made it. Some hat company that people know the name of that is popular. Is
Maybe Carhartt.
Eddie Bauer name?
That's a name, yeah.
Yeah, that might be it. Eddie Bauer might be it. I'm just trying to picture the logo on the inside. I'm going to say Eddie Bauer.
There's a Carhartt. There's that one too. They make
No, it's not that. I know I've seen those, but I'm religious against that because I don't know. I got to take a stand of integrity against it. When they made that a fashionable thing, it's no longer a work thing. The price goes up. It's now pointless. And Carhartts are, well, I don't know. We're in a cold region. Carhartts are unbelievably uncomfortable.
Oh, I've never worn them really. Other than the zero, I don't own any Carhartt. But
yeah, I don't know about that one, but you know what? The bulk. It's. I mean, you guys. What's the coldest you guys work?
45 maybe.
27.
Yeah, when we get that, I don't know. We go down to about -15.
Yeah, fuck that.
And then, well, but that's all winter for us.
Yeah, no, I know. I get that. I
Right
can't.
off Lake Erie, but we're used to it. So for you guys, when it's 10 degrees, for me, that's still warm. I'm out there in just the hoodie you're wearing right there. Then the wind chill gets it down to below zero. And I'm like, okay, that's where you got to put on those armbands. That's why I stay in such good shape. So I put on 2 layers of Under Armour under that hoodie or whatever I'm wearing over the top. And it becomes resistance, like the kid from A Christmas Story.
I can't get up. I can't get up.
Get into it. But imagine squeegeeing. Tie your arms up with those armbands and then try squeegee. You're like, I can't get my elbows to move.
Yes.
Are you?
Hey, so Craig, go ahead, Deez, real quick. I want to tell
Taylor had a really good comment. Craig is the Jeff Goldblum of the window cleaning world.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I was like, that's probably the best comparison I've ever seen or heard. That is spot on.
Holy goodness, The Fly. That's an October watch, and then you get into November and December. You know what? He's great in Jurassic Park. If you love dinosaurs, great movie. The bathroom scene where the dude gets eaten on the toilet. That's awesome.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
Somebody should have done a mix where they had the poop noise. The You know,
So Fred's coming to say hi. He obviously wants his treat. I already gave him one, but he's like, oh well, maybe I think he took the second one. So
Fred, can
he's
you
shit
hear
out of luck.
Freddie?
Oh, say hi, Fred.
Where's
So
your
real quick,
sweet boy?
I wanted to go over. I don't know if you have the
Woof, 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 woof.
if you have the live feed up right now, but we got Damien in the building. Jessica Battle is here. You mentioned Fletcher Denning, our pal.
I'm trying to look
Um,
over here. Jessica Battle, Lakewood, Ohio. Over here in Lakewood, Ohio, right around Lake Erie, down by Cleveland. Yeah, we get all that wind from Michigan, I think you're from. All that weather comes down our coastline and smacks into Cleveland, right where we're at. So we get lake effect weather all winter. It's blustery wind, snow flurries. And then it heads over to our coast goes up to Buffalo and it heads over that way and Buffalo in our area, sorry, Buffalo, we are the mistake on the lake, Cleveland, the river that burns. Buffalo is the butthole of Lake Erie. That's where all snow dumps. And literally,
Yeah.
they get 20 feet of snow a day for, 60 days in a row.
I used
That's
to ski
insane.
outside
Their
of
houses
Buffalo.
have to be built on stilts in Buffalo. If anybody from Buffalo is in here, how tall are your stilts that you have to have your houses on just so you don't get buried in the snow?
Like this big. We let the snow get. I'm from Buffalo. The snow will just get up to your roof, and then you can slide down your
Slide
roof
down,
onto
yeah.
the snow. But that was in the winter of '77 style.
Well, yeah. So in Cleveland, because the wind, that kind of weather comes from one direction.
Yep.
Like the front of our house, I grew up 2 streets over, four
Right.
houses up. The back of our house, because of the side of the street, you get those snow drifts that just go up the house. A funny story, window cleaning story. My house, you go up the street, a main street, all the old storefronts, and there was this shop, George P. Schumacher. I don't know what they did. They had boats in there. They did this, they did that. I just cleaned the
Schumacher.
windows.
Yeah.
So they had a building that kind of made an L, and there was a parking lot over here, and the corner where the glass was on this side of the building, the offices, well, the drift got up. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll just climb up there.
Yeah.
And I'm cleaning the windows and I figured, well, I'll just slip behind the drift. Well, I'm not paying attention. It's about 12 feet.
Yeah.
So I dropped down and I couldn't get out. I actually got
Right.
stuck. And my dad comes
147
around,
hours.
they're laughing at me. And this is when I've got to imagine, this is right up the street from my house. At that point in time, I could have been about 12, 13 years old. So imagine much shorter than I am now. But there were several jobs like that. And a lot of situations, just being from Buffalo, that snow, the way that it drifts and piles against buildings.
Yep.
We haven't had
Insane.
that in a while. I miss it.
Yeah.
Snow
I
forest,
don't. I'm
all
in
that
Houston now.
stuff. You know,
So speaking of cold temperatures, Deeds and I were texting with our pal Squeegee Tom this morning, and he's out there. It's 32 degrees out there this morning where he's at, and yeah, that's I think I'm at 68 or 70 or something right now. We had a little bit of a rainstorm last night, and it puts me in a hoodie, and he's out there at 32 degrees working. So yeah, I don't know how you cold weather cats do it. Eddie makes fun of the Northerners, but I'm a bitch when it comes to the cold. I can happily admit it. I'm a big bag of bitch when it comes to being cold. Thankfully, I live in Arizona and don't have to worry about that too much. So that's where we are. We're moving
You're
into
in
that
the
fall
desert, right?
season. What's
No,
that?
wait, you're not in the desert.
Yes, I am. I'm
You
in
are in the
Phoenix,
desert.
Arizona. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You're up in Phoenix. So I was in Tucson for a while, quite a while. Marana, right up north of.
Yeah, that's about 90 miles north or 90 miles south of me. Marana's on the way to Tucson. It's like 20 miles out of it.
Ambidextrous. I am ambiweatherist.
You can handle it all.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Hot, cold. I see Jeffrey Scott's name up there. Grace and I went up, and when we did that, the green safety, the RDS,
Yes, rope
let me
descent.
just say it my way. We went up and did that rope work with the harnesses and everything. Dropped down in the shop the first day. Learned all. the book work for me was that was better. All of that stuff, the videos, all that information was so cool, so cool. Then we were in the shop doing the drops from low positions, learning everything, doing
Yeah.
self-rescue, tandem rescue. Grace had to rescue me. No way, not with my winter weight that I carry. That was hard, but for her, she's so tiny, it was hard for
Yeah.
her, but she had to learn how to do it. But then the
Uh,
next day, when we went out to a building, I mean, it was icy and snowy and cold. It was beautiful. The wind up there, and I'm like, it is cold, but I don't know.
it's a job.
But it was beautiful there. I wrote a song. My buddy and I who we jam on Wednesday nights up in the Trocadero Lounge upstairs.
Trocadero.
Yeah, I have a song that I actually wrote about that experience, about that, I don't know, that gentle, cool air, that it was just different than being a on the ground window cleaner, or cleaning on a cold day when there's no snow, there's no wet, there's no ice, but it's just bitter cold and you're on a ladder. Even I do water fed down to 17 degrees. So we're kind of pushing that boundary right there. I do water fed all winter, but that's a whole other story for another time. But yeah, I saw some different questions in here. I'm trying to let people know I'm trying to keep track over here. Yeah, Jessica, winter weight is real, but going back to Damien, morning, Jake. Um, Jeffrey, I need you to play the drums on the song. And Damien asked earlier, is the museum going to be at the IWCA convention in Orlando? And I thought that was a great question.
Yes, it is.
That
So,
is a great
do you
question.
have an answer yet? Or are you still working on it?
We are working on this. That let me tell you, that was one of the hardest things we've ever had to do. That I've ever done was put together a museum. We had to bring four of us for that. You guys were there and saw how many pieces we had.
Yeah.
The amount of time it takes just to get that all set up, and that was it was overwhelming. It was awesome, but that we're trying to refine it down to see if we can. I mean, I have my Star Wars game. Let me move that. Play again. So much already new stuff right here. Just so many new things since we got back that I've collected.
Awesome.
It's a 2-day drive for two of us each way to get the museum down there. So we're trying to figure out the logistics. How much is this going to cost? How can we get down there? We want
Effectively.
yeah, and we know that there's been some sponsorship offers there that we had. WCR sponsored us at the huge. That helped, but the IWCA makes it a little more attractive for us because the hotel costs at the venue are so much less.
Yeah, it's about $60 to $80 a night, at least less than it was in Nashville. So, and when you add that up, it's more like 120 a night after taxes and all that other nonsense.
Yeah.
So you're saving probably another $700 to $800 depending on how many days you save.
Well, we
Yeah.
had to get two rooms because we
Yeah.
had four of us, and it was you add that cost to it, it chews up money pretty fast. But then we're looking at it like, yeah, we could potentially. We've been approached. I know that the IWCA has expressed interest. So what we're doing is trying to put it together. We have found hotel stops along the way there and back in areas that make sense. You have to. You look at any stretch of 200 miles where you say, oh, I could stop anywhere in this range, and then you find 10 hotels. One of them could be really nice and like $80 for the night. The other one is only medium rating, but it's 220 for the night.
Yeah.
So we're looking to figure out, how can we also, it's a 16-hour drive, something like that for us. So that's
Yeah.
2 full days of driving each way. How do we get down there, then take off a week? And then we were talking about family, when you bring families to this, like we did the last one, Hunter came,
Yeah.
my wife came, the younger daughter started school, so she couldn't come. Tegan wasn't able to make it. do we bring the family on this? And then we have to figure they would have to fly down because they're not
Yeah.
going to drive. That's another vehicle. How do we get everything into? We brought 2 vehicles worth of stuff because everybody also wanted to see the trucks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'd rather do that. You know, we can drive the trucks down, but if we can refine this down, get it into my truck, we would change the content. There would be some of the same stuff, not much, but some of the same stuff, but a lot of the content would change. For this trip, we would try to go with larger pieces, more of the professionally framed historic press photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got enough just of the old historic press photos. I have enough of those to probably show a different gallery. I don't know, 6, 7 different galleries worth, just that alone, that part of the collection alone. And not all of them are framed because I've got hundreds and hundreds of them, stacks of photos that
Yeah.
just go on forever. And I don't know but Damien has a great question. We are going to work on that. This is something we got back. Everything is kind of changing around. We're assessing the new stuff, trying to lay out how we would do this. But again, that's one of the things we don't sell anything. And now we want to talk to the IWCA if they'll have us, if we can get the booth donated, that is something that helps tremendously.
Yeah.
If they allow us to maybe sell shirts and stickers for donations or collect donations for
Yeah.
shirts and stickers, that's something that can help us because the amount of time that it takes us away from everything else. And if my family wants to go on a non-window cleaning vacation, I got to take time for that as well. And you got to have a vacation for your wife, and she doesn't want to go to a convention.
No.
So when you put it all together, we're going to work hard to get to the IWCA if they'll have us, and if we can make it happen with them. I think that'd be a great experience. Everybody, with Gabe and everything he's doing, and Jeff Likes, and all those people connected with the IWCA right now with what they're doing, they've got some great things going on, and I think it would be a great thing. So, Damien, everybody else who is wondering about that, we're working really hard on it. And another thing I want to bring up, those folks that are commenting today, we're going to send some postcards from
Awesome.
the Huge. We're going to send stacks of postcards. And
Craig, I'd like a couple of those too. I had about 6 of them.
you commented.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I would love some because I definitely I have a couple left, but a friend of mine, a tattoo artist friend of mine in Denver mentioned that one day when I was there getting some ink, his postman was coming in and he said to me, this big old smile arose on his face, right? And I was like, I don't really see people smile when they get their mail normally. And as he's going through his mail, he's reading to me a postcard from one of his friends that when he's on his travels,
he sends him a postcard.
Yeah, he sends him a postcard, and he says, my guy is kind of he's a couple years older than me, early 50s, a punk rocker by trade.
Yeah.
Now very talented, been tattooing for a long time. Kind of a Renaissance man. You know what I mean? He knows a lot about. Yeah, he's kind of knows a lot about a lot. Been a world traveler, done a lot of things, but to see him smile when he got the postcard made me think that I want to start doing that as well. So I would love to get a couple more postcards if that's possible.
They're coming your way, Deeds. You're getting some. Everybody who comments in here, I'm going to send you a stack. I don't know how big the stack will be, but I don't know. I'll see what we've got left, how many comments, and at least that many.
Word.
And
awesome.
Some stickers. We got some stickers made, and we're going to get some more stuff going on like that. But everybody who also comments we're going to send you out a Biothane basic towel ring. It's just a
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Towel ring. These are a lot of these are just scrap materials that we test with that I use. We get rings. Sometimes go to the thrift store and buy old purses when they're all cheap for 50 cents or $1 that have a lot of these. We get just because we test and we use a lot of materials to test. But yeah, we've got some black and blue, and they're basic towel rings. I don't know what anybody uses. Does anybody use scrim? You know, you just throw it on
I
the
do.
belt, loop that.
Yes, I have that big ass scrim. They're the best.
Yeah, wash these a lot. Just wash them 100 times. Throw some wool balls in the dryer with them, and over time, this is a scrim that I made,
Wool balls.
and I make them smaller. So this is a textured, so it's got like a little scrubby surface, but it's not
Yeah.
abrasive. It's scrim, but it's fine Irish linen. But this is raw, and then I've got on the back. That's where I've got my nice fine Gucci.
Gooch.
That's
There
my
you go.
Gucci towel. But yeah, they, and you know, again, if you're using like the zero towels, these things just pull in, slip it on your hip. All of the towels that we use fit. Who I don't know. These are, I don't think they're gonna ever make the green again. I don't know.
I
But
haven't seen those in a long time.
I have I bought I don't know what would it amount to. I probably bought 500 pounds of those.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I've got bins of those things all washed, folded up nicely for the future. Yeah, every towel fits in. But yeah, anybody that's commenting on here, we're going to go through this. Then this weekend, I'm going to sit downstairs and make these for everybody that commented and
Awesome.
send those with the postcards. It's the, so people know this is the biothane material that is in the belts and holsters we make. It's non-absorbent. So unlike, it's not going to rot like leather. It's not going to get and stay wet and dirty like the nylon webbing that's on everything. So I see you got the American, the All-American right there. That's the
Yes.
same material that's on there. So I'll have to send you a blue, or I might even see about making some other, see what other materials I have. But so far I have these.
Nice.
The reason I have these, we make the tie down straps for ladders and everything out of the biothane with those little teethy things, you know, you put it through the teeth and let it drop on and then tighten it.
Mhm.
That's what I make. I make the ladder straps and then the little leftover pieces. So I have no waste. But
Nice.
yeah, that's going to be a fun thing for anybody commenting. And if I miss
That's
a
awesome.
comment,
We weren't expecting that, but that's super rad of you, Craig. You never disappoint. You're always thinking of other people, and that's one of the just awesome things about you. There's about 100 that I can think of, but that is, you're always giving back. I wanted to ask you or tell you something real quick. I don't know, you know, I see that you're following along as well. Sean Hart's in the building, Sean Zimmerman's in the building.
Sean,
There's Nathan Pickett's in the building. There's a gentleman in here, Cody Smith, right?
yeah, I've been talking to him. He messaged me and I asked me some questions about storefront cleaning. I told him jump in on the show today and ask some
So
questions.
he just said he's 3 weeks into his window cleaning journey. So to me, this is a great time for us and for Cody to pick up information, to network with other people, to kind of get your name out there, to feel comfortable with who you're surrounded in. And I'm really glad that you pointed him in this direction, because it's always great to see newer people in the industry. We always, Deeds and I and yourself, guys like Damien, we always want to make sure that we put our best foot forward, help them in any way that we can, and just get them going in the right direction. Somebody, somebody gave us chances and shots, so I think it's awesome that you pay it forward.
Cody reached out, and then also in the comments, I see WCR marketing, and I believe that is
Morning,
the
fellas.
marketing department, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
either John or Jill or Steve. I'm not sure who it is, but somebody from that department is in, I guess.
So
Yeah,
for Cody, this is great because Cody, check out WCR marketing, and here's what they can do for you. Cody, you were talking about storefronts. First, look into getting yourself a card. Now, this is a storefront specific card of ours, and it's hard to see, but on the back, we detail what the expectations should be, and then those price grids for an out only service and an in and out service. So we break the price down. we include the interior door panel on and out only service when they're there. We let them know that on the card when applicable. You know, we go over it. So, you know, we let them know, we just put the price on. We don't even ask them if they want a price. It's free to give them a price, and we don't have to have their permission. It's business. They want somebody. So we put the price down and we let them know weekly to monthly service plans, reliable all season service. That's because we're in a 4-season region. So we let our clients know that when those, we've got Bucket Bob's inundating our region right now. This is that time of year, summer and fall, they come in and they're not going to be here when it's 15 below zero cleaning storefronts. They're going to disappear. They're not going out. How many of you are going out at 15 below to clean the salt out the storefronts?
Not I, said the fly.
We have been doing that religiously, reliably for our clients for 4 generations, but you know, we let them know on here, inclement weather rescheduling, so that our storefronts know we're not going to come by when that storm's about to hit, because the snowplow trucks are going to put that mucky muck and that salt mess back on the glass. That's money out of their pocket that doesn't need to happen. So we track the weather for them, and we make sure that we come by after the storm, and it just makes our city look beautiful. And then, you know, we make sure that they know we clean their frames and sills on the card. We don't even have to talk to them. Everybody always says, Jello, famous guy in the group. I love that guy. He's always talking to these people.
He should just zip it.
Yeah.
And just hand it. So
Hey.
that's one of the lessons, or one of the things that they teach you anytime you're a salesman, anytime you're in any business, anytime you know, you're broaching somebody about whatever, is you let them know what you do, you tell the price, and then you fucking shut up, right?
It's direct to the point, and usually in these storefronts, you've got an employee, a manager might be there anymore. It might be the manager who is the employee. You never know who you're talking to, hardly ever the decision maker. Anyways, they don't want to talk to you. They are usually pissed off because somebody didn't show up. They had to do their work to get place open, and they're frustrated. It's here, boom, you know, but just you know, to Cody or anybody else knew, you know, the difference in a storefront card and a residential card. You know, now there are similarities on the card, they tie together, but the storefront card is just a basic paper card.
Doc,
The
yeah.
residential is that raised with the red embossed
Very
on the
smart.
side, or what do they call that? That gloss, you see that reflective?
I mean, like an embossed.
Whatever
Charlie
that is.
Sheen.
WCR, Jill, Steve, somebody, if you're in there, what is all that stuff? But you could see,
Yeah, it's embossing or something.
you could put your whatever Venmo and all this stuff, this doodah stuff, any of that stuff on there. But yeah, Grace does all that. You know, I come up with some of these ideas, and then she works with Jill and makes that kind of stuff happen. Everything you see, I don't know. Yeah, it all comes. It has to be made to happen.
So speaking of this noggin right here, your noggin, I've had the luxury and the honor of spending some time with you personally, just one-on-one time. We have a lot of the same similarities. We're all over the place. Squirrel, you know what I mean? Type deal.
Give me
And
a door.
Nothing
I
with
want to
swirl.
know what it's like for you personally after going through a 3-day, 4-day event. You've expanded all this energy over a 6-month process. You've put your show together. You're tearing it down. You're coming off of a super high. How do you feel when you're driving home, like from an event like what we had in Nashville? Like there's a supreme high for a couple days, right? I mean, you're fucking riding that wave like, whew.
Man, I come home from something like that, and the energy goes into the window cleaning. It goes into the office, the business. It goes into the shops, the tools and technology, the modifications, which I got some fun stuff here. I think some folks are going to have some fun with some of this stuff that I got. But Yeah, what you're talking about, that
I mean, it's a real feeling, right? Like you
yes.
have a full time, you have like a 3-4 day high, and then you're like,
No, no, it's that high is there before the convention. It's there.
that's what I'm saying.
It's 24/7 for me.
Yeah.
Like literally yesterday we go to work. It's a new client. It's a street in Lakewood, Forest Cliff. It's a dead end. It dead ends at the lake, and they've got the old stone pillars that used to border when it was one house. That was their street sign because there was one house back there one time. Very rich person. But these are all nice luxury homes. We go to this new house, elevator and everything inside. And I'm excited. I'm like, oh yeah, I get to pull out the 9 sections and hit this arched window on the elevator shaft at the top over a roof line. I got to be on the side, angling my body, using contortion. I don't know, using my mind. And when what I had, the way I would like to try to figure out how to take some videos. I need I can't have Grace not doing what she's doing so she can run the camera. So we're
Yeah.
inevitably going to try to find somebody who can follow along so she can do her work and I can be outside talking about. They can capture what she's doing and she can discuss what she does and I can talk about what I do from the outside.
Okay.
And the different ways we apply water filtration technology, we don't always use poles. A lot of handhelds, a lot of what I have. You're gonna see crazy stuff. You're gonna be like, this is the future. But a lot of, I will use a sponge and a garden nozzle hooked up to my pure water line. And I will have my soap everything up, sponge it. Now remember, I'm working outside on ground level, and you've got sills in our area. We got mulch, like some of these sills have
Yep.
a half inch
Yeah,
of mulch.
Houston, they just
Dust.
blow the mulch, gets in there and it's caked.
It's caked, and it's in the tracking on the sides. So, how do you effectively get that stuff out fast without picking it with your fingers or brushes, dry brush, your vacuums? You're flushing it. You're flushing this stuff out with running water. But to do ground level with a pole, you don't always need that. The
Oh,
ergonomics
it's not necessary.
of a garden nozzle on one hip, holstered on one hip, in one hand. And so, let's say you've got your biothane sponge Boab right there with your scraper, maybe a little light scrubber pad back here behind, and that's on your hip. So you've got to imagine you've got a quick sponge. You're not reaching to a bucket and you've already got your water in one hand, but you've got soap on your hip behind. You guys have seen the single loops that I hold spray bottles on. So that's
Yeah.
behind here. You could have your towels on something like this. You could have something smaller if you like to use, like those melamine pads or whatever.
Yep.
But again, if you the idea of the sponge Boab, get it? SpongeBob? Yellow.
SpongeBob.
Yeah. But the sponge
Very
Boab
nice.
gives those of us like Frank Grave, he knows the sponge. But what about your Technopad scrubber that you use on the glass? Holstering that. To be able to holster things, that gives you the opportunity to hands free and move around and boom, here's my water. Here's soap it up, sponge it up, water's going, rinse, flush. Garden nozzle, change it over to that little, like even a low jet spray. When you put a garden nozzle on a high flow hose, I'm setting that up, and maybe this weekend I'll be able to show that. But yeah, it's kind of that idea there. But Deej, you're gonna love what I've got to show here. Yeah, these are, when you can holster things. Now, having something for a sponge though, what do we have that keeps a sponge right there?
Not much.
Not much. I mean, I've got 5. I don't know how many different sacks I have. These are my personal users. This one is a prototype that once I get interest, it will be RF welded. So this will be sealed. It will hold water.
Nice.
This
Cool.
actually does hold water now. Over time, it will weep a little, but my design is just a prototype for
Yeah,
this.
conceptual. Yeah.
And when again with RF welding, that's I don't know if anybody knows what RF welding is, but you know,
It's
that's a
on.
whole other thing to talk about. But yeah, this seals up, and that is to me as a ladder cleaner. They just had the ladder sale at WCR.
I'm so
Crazy
pissed
sale.
at myself for that because I didn't get the short stack that I need to get. But it's been a tough summer and it's been a little tight this summer. So I was like, I can't
Just
pull
wait.
I couldn't pull the trigger just yet.
It's
But
still
now
waiting for you when you get the
Save
time.
up. Just save up. Know you want it. Make your list. And to Cody and anybody else new that's listening, you know what? If you need to ask any of the veterans or anybody you see that knows what they're talking about, ask us. We'll tell you exactly what you need to start out. How you can buy things that you can grow with, and
yeah.
things you can't grow with, and they're very specific other things you can grow with. And a lot of people get so excited about the equipment, it will be there. Trust me, I grew up in a time when there was hardly anything. That's why I do what I do with these mods. There is still no sponge boab available to us. That's the bottom line. So you have to start somewhere, though.
Yep.
That's the bottom line. You start somewhere and you move
Sponge
from
in a dream.
Well, you keep adding to your collection and,
yes.
and like, you've been at this game for generations. So you've got quite the collection going on. Deeds has got quite the collection going on. I've got almost all the tools I need to, but of course that one the one thing that I think that would make my collection complete is that little half stack. And I should have just pulled the damn trigger.
Hold on. Now let me drop some mods. You guys want to see some mods?
Yeah, you
Mods.
do that real quick. I got to run and grab something. You keep showing everybody. Give me 1
Show
second.
the mods.
All right. So what I did is WCR had these pure water power. Is that what they're called? The brushes, 50%
sale.
off.
Yeah.
And I got that with the swivel for this square lock.
Mhm.
And I took a punch, took out the jets that came with it. Now these, if you go to the site, those are high flow jets.
Nice. Good.
So
Smart.
I replaced the stock jets with the high flow jets. And this thing I'm going to put out in the field today.
Cool.
But what else, if you notice, there are 2 additional jets.
Yes.
Sides. So
Oh,
what
look
I
at that.
did, let's see if I can get a good look here. I've got side fan jets. So I tapped a hole myself.
Okay.
And I've got side fans. So that's going to hit the
Rinse the
side.
side.
And I do frames, and when I clean, I do my tracking with this way. But and I like a smaller brush. I just modded this out because they were half off. So anybody, I think these are half off still.
Buy one, get one, basic, weren't they?
Check it out, folks.
If you want to try to mod something out, if you want to just get something and see what it's like to make a few changes, simple changes, this is something you can do. What I suggest is I like a super swivel. So I used to have all the old Tucker swivels with the dial, but the dial always got in the way of a lot of my mods because I put fans up here.
Yeah.
I put fans down here. I've got a brush. I got another one of these. I want to put on the other one, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fans around the perimeter, and I want to have 4 high flow on each side.
Nice.
So
I asked the question why they aren't just outfitted with high flow. Well, not only that, like, so the tubes. So what difference does it make if you have a high flow going into small ports, right? It doesn't. It kind of defeats the purpose of the high flow, right? Or it just makes the pressure harder.
Here's the thing. This is what we're going to find out because the other brush that I have is going to get the high flows and it'll get side fans. So we'll have the same configuration. Now I've got the smaller, well, we're going to call this now the low flow hose. But that's, and I got to jam it on, and these barbs are a little bigger and longer. So this is fine right there. If you see those little bit there, that's fine.
You're still spitting out a lot of water though.
Well, this is what it's going to do is once it releases, it's going to widen more. Instead of a concentrated streaming jet, the wider the opening, the drop. All of my other brushes have the same hose connecting, but when you look at the old Tucker, it's the high flow hose for the Tucker jets on the old gold poles. I should have brought one up, but what happens is you get the drop. Now with the jets we currently have, it streams out, then drops. You know, you get mostly streaming out. These will drop a little sooner. The wider I go with the opening, exit opening, the jet opening,
Orifice,
the
yeah.
sooner it's going to drop. For residential, we want that. We want that wide drop. For a jet brush, I cannot use rinse bars on our work for residential. For commercial, yeah, there's a lot of applications unless you have deep frames. But for residential, you really just, the fans are the key on the sides because that gets you that sharp into that will, I can angle that right into my tracking and let the drop carry everything on the glass. The heavy water on the glass, that you think about how many times have you seen guys with the jet and they've got that brush right up to the glass and what percentage of water is actually deflecting?
Yeah, it comes back in your eyeballs. Not
So
fun.
it deflects, it does not become part of the mass
It's not
that
rinsing.
carries the debris down.
Yeah.
That's why one of the reasons why they're spotting. So what I'm going to end up doing on the next brush, it's going to get the high flow jets, but I'm going to put more. I want to put more jets in because the dispersion will slow. It has to break down from one hose to six, one hose to
It loses pressure. Yeah.
but I'm going to use the high flow hose instead of this. The only thing is I have to get the high flow fittings to connect.
That's what I was getting at. Not the hose to the hose. It's more along why don't they just come with high flows fittings?
Because this type of high flow technology, Tucker, the old gold Tucker pole brushes with the big wide jets. That's my main brush. I'll take some video today with this, show my main brush. I have a new Tucker brush. It's like this, but the smaller. And I actually drilled out and I put an old Tucker rinse jet bar. It's in the pad, not over or under, but they're wide. And those jets, that bar goes in and those jets screw in from the bottom. And that is some beautiful drop. And then on the outside of that brush, I'm going to mod that one out and put these high flow jets. These type of high flow jets are newer, and this had been the standard. And because this industry is so small, they can only sell so much of this in the industry. So when like WCR, they have to get that high flow interest.
Yeah.
But how to do that when everybody has this? Well, I don't know. I guess sometimes that's where a guy like me comes in. Steve O at the convention handed me over some high flow hose. Thank you, Steve O, if you're in here. That you rock. But I was still using old Tucker hose because that's the same as the high flow hose that WCR sells. The inner diameter is the same. Now we're going back to that size hose. All we have to do now is go back to those jets. Now, in the old days, it was DI only for the most part. RO wasn't introduced. RO restricts your flow. The waste water comes out. So that's why I use 420 and no pumps. I get the production I need to fuel my jets. Now, my pursuit is to switch over. My reels were always 1/4 inch inner diameter, high flow. Instead of, I had 3/8, but I've tapped down over the years. But gosh, I've been doing over 25 years water fed. But I dialed down to from the 3/8 to the 1/4 inch inner diameter. So the next step in the process is to outfit with the high flow jets. Actually, thank you, WCR, Chris and Announce. They sent me a little bag of jets, the high flow.
They're the best.
Woo.
The thing
Yeah.
is like I said, if anybody, you go pick up one of these brushes, half off, pick up some of these high flow jets, there's 4 of them.
Come
You
on.
just get a ham, if you got a vise or even put it on the end of a table, you can knock out, you got to take your swivel off, but you can knock the jets out and put the high flow jets in, a little bit of hot water, soak your hose ends in a cup of hot water for a little bit, let the hot water run, don't put your hand in it though, but that'll help loosen up the memory, and then just slide them over, put them on, and you can see the difference. You don't need these outer fans on yours. Just the jets alone, you will see the difference with your current hose setup. Now you add the high flow hose instead of, to your delivery hose from your tank to your brush, or I don't know if you guys use one, or do you use a delivery and a pull?
I use a larger or a 3/8
The Rio
delivery to a ID
to
the high flow
316.
hose. Yeah, to a
Yeah.
high flow hose.
Okay, you got the yellow high flow.
Yeah, I've got the yellow Tucker high flow 150.
Gotcha.
I got a clear 0 high flow. Woo woo.
So the point is that give it another year or so. I mean, give me after possibly this weekend, the next brush is in the shop, and tomorrow is the day. So the next brush will get the jets. I'm only going to actually, what I'll do is,
Sure.
so that I can show this to people in a way that makes sense. Maybe what I'll just mod the brush out without the sides. I'll video taking these out, putting the new jets in, and I'll put the high flow hose on instead of the 3/16. That's where I have to figure out my conversions, because I don't know. WCR, do you guys have 3-ways
They do.
or
I had to
high
look for
flow?
converting high flow to low flow. They have the Ys, they have
Yeah,
different
well,
sizes.
I looked, and they only have what they can keep in stock based on available. And
Right.
last I looked, I could not find even the 3/16 to high flow. I have some, but those might be scarce parts to get, until we kick it up a notch in the industry. On our end, at the user end, we have to understand the science of this, and I'm going to help people understand. I'm going to switch something out. I'll make it all work with high flow, and try to get that drop and show. But again, in the field today, I'll show this brush, I'll show the other brush. Fun stuff to do though. If you want to get excited about changes,
Ooh.
you have to be a part of that. We are the ones who have to buy those parts and
Yep.
put them into application, and use them. How many people actually change out their jets? How many people know you can buy new jets for your current brush?
Right.
So
Nobody.
tomorrow I'll get, it won't, I don't know if I should go live or just make a video, but I can do one or the other tomorrow in the shop, and just take another one of these, the pure water power brush, 50% off, and just play around.
Frankenstein it.
Tinker, Frankenstein, whatever you want to call
alive.
it, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's where the best ideas come from, right?
Yep.
That's
Tinker
truly where the best ideas come from, is us. We're the ones in the field. We're the ones that, I don't know. I'm a mechanical mind. I'm a tinkerer. I don't know, chitty chitty bang bang, It's just, that's,
Oh,
but
my pretty chitty bang bang. Chitty, chitty.
I don't know what anybody in here, if they've been asking questions. Not a bad DI setup, but I think the fireplace.
We've just got a bunch of comments going. It's been a good conversation. They're pretty much everyone's answering and replying to themselves, which is great. That's exactly what we want. I love the fact
Yeah.
that our friends, our listeners, our followers, our fellow window cleaners are there to again, it's like the support thing. It's like when one person throws a question out there, if we don't reply to it quickly, Damien's there, or
can get on
Jake's
it.
there, or John's there, or that's what this is all about. And I'm so glad that you're joining us this morning.
Watch this. You guys like
Unfortunately,
superheroes?
what's
Yep.
that?
You like superheroes?
Of course.
Yeah, we need a window cleaner superhero. Let me get this thing in place here. Show you what
Hope
I'm
you're wearing
working on.
pants.
I'm going to try this today too. Part of I don't know. I want to do a superhero window cleaner, like comic book, that could be like a superhero window cleaner movie eventually, or something. I don't know. But
You told me something funny. You and I had a conversation not this year, but last year at the huge, and you told me about a movie that you had thought about, and I was all in on your
shit.
idea. Oh my
Look at
God.
that.
Could you imagine?
The glove.
It's got jets on the fingertips.
And
Oh,
a shut off.
snaps. Wow. That's like the
Inner
power glove
fan
from Nintendo.
jets, an outer high flow,
I like it.
you know.
Yep. Weber.
Michael Jackson ain't got nothing on Craig.
So no, I'm gonna then I put the 3/16 the high flow on here, then my high flow hose goes in. I've got my shut off right there. And this is just the prototype. So it's just some push fittings, hose, the jets.
That's
and
insane.
Yeah.
That's a Youngstown
that's-
glove from WCR. Everything's from WCR except for the hockey tape.
Dedication there.
WCR. Get WCR hockey tape because that's great for around the base of your pole. Take that bulky rubber end off the bottom of your pole.
Cap does not belong there.
Well, not that little piece that goes inside. Sometimes
cap.
like
No.
the poles come with a rubber sleeve or just wrap that bottom with hockey tape. You're much better off. But hockey tape rules. But yeah, those come off, that goes on. But yeah, this is going to be, I'm going to try this on the first floor of the house today. I can still climb ladders with it.
Whoa.
I can scrub, hold on to the ladder, 3 points of contact, put that into my holster, grab the ladder, and rinse. Targeted.
That's insane. I love it. I love it.
Oh,
Who says you can't do some wild shit first thing in the morning, right?
But be
yeah,
safe.
Star
Safety on
engineer
those ladders.
department. We need something
Yeah,
like
that's nuts.
this. Yeah, good flexibility. I mean, I could grab a 0 degree squeegee
Oh my God.
with that, so it's good flexibility. But yeah, there it is. That's kind of like the mod of the day.
Going for gasps. That's awesome.
I don't know. Well, I'm on my end. I'm having fun.
Well, that's the point. Yeah, that's an awesome looking tool. Can't
Yeah,
wait to
this
see
will
that
be.
in production.
Could you imagine though if WCR actually made something like this? So the final result, I want to do like a webbing that goes over, so these can slide in and out and just stay in place.
Handheld hedgehog or something like that.
Something, but I don't know.
I thought about something along those lines where you have a glove that actually has a small squeegee attached to it, so you just kind of like you keep it in between your fingertips. But I never did anything with it because I'm not a tinker and I'm not a mad scientist. But
so Cody's in here. You guys, I don't even know what time. It's 9:30. Do we have?
yeah, we're actually we're gonna have to wrap up soon. Unfortunately, the one thing.
What's in the bucket?
Sure. What's in your bucket?
One of them. I wanted to show some stuff off because we got somebody new. Cody's in here. Cody.
It's Cody. There's more Codys and Tonys.
Anybody else new? 0 degree.
Very nice.
Flat. Some old school right there. This is actually the Mr. Long Arm Pro Curve original 0 degree. They went out of business, but this thing was so smooth. It goes on their Pro Curve pole. There's a little slot that it hooks onto, and this thing spins around on the pole. But yeah, I know Jake Van Orden is in here or was in here. A lot of guys that know what this is, that old Unger swivel lock.
Hot dog.
Oh yeah.
Hot dog, hot diggity
Let's see.
dog.
Let me show something interesting. We're all
Excuse me while I whip
familiar
this out.
with
Excuse me while I whip this out.
now we're all familiar with the Unger.
Yep.
And I don't have the Sticoni, but the push block back here.
Yep.
Grace, in that bucket over there, can you find the Sticoni handle with the push lock right there behind you? So that is a feature that goes way back. And there is an example of one that goes over the channel on the rubber.
I have an old Sticoni like that.
Yeah, you got here's your pull X, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you see how they have the
Grips.
grip. It goes over the rubber on the top, and then teeth go into the holes.
Grooves in the heart.
And it was a little. These are tougher. I'm telling you, you have to get it in there, but
Fight
you
'em.
move these over for when you're reaching behind. And they were so cool because when they put the teeth inside, a little more durable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did they actually put the teeth inside before they eliminated the teeth altogether? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Chicken or
came
the egg.
first? And then I found these right here. Let's get us.
Nice.
Can you guys read that?
I cannot. So I had a
Squint.
C on it.
Continental.
Oh,
Continental.
Copenhagen. Swanson.
Continental. And that's got that same. This is an actual Pull-X channel. It's got the same exact over the top and tooth design as the Pull-X.
Got it.
And
Conspiracy.
I found these handles right here, and then I ordered the channel from WCR. And is that a Staccone?
No, it's an Adam.
Nah, never mind. Well, I'll have to make a post about this, a museum post showing the differences. But Continental, nobody has ever been able to tell me who they are, where they're from. But I have a whole bucket of them that we use in series with
India.
the Pull-X. But it's just one of those things. My bucket can change. I don't know. I could have a different bucket of tools every month.
I imagine that you could. You know, like you said, or like I said earlier, as collectors, as tinkerers, as guys who just continue to keep getting more tools, I probably have about 8 setups. And I'm one person. I don't need 8 setups, but I could have a different setup for every day of the week, plus an extra day that we don't have.
It makes it fun. We get into such a rhythm, but if you use the same tool all the time, I swap out, and we're getting ready for winter, so I'm going to swap out tools again. And right now, I use old Fuller. I use old Vario. I use stuff that some of my squeegees. The one is probably from the 40s.
Damn.
In my bucket. The other one, I'm guessing 50s to 70s based on the stamping.
Yeah.
But I love to run the old stuff, the new. I'm trying to, everything. Everything. It never dies.
Well, I want to say thank you, Craig, for joining us this morning. It's been a pleasure having you. We're running a little short on time. This is the time of the show, though, where we give thanks to those. You want to give a shout out. You want to say thank you to anybody that's been in your corner. Whatever you want to do, give a second to give some thanks to somebody or a group, organization, whatever you want to do.
You know what? I just take every bit of energy that I have, and right now I'm just sending it out to every single window cleaner, every supplier, everything. Anybody connected to window cleaning clients, anybody with windows that has a dwelling with a window or any kind of a space with a window, anybody that's ever looked through a window. If you wear glasses, especially the windows that we wear.
Windows to the world.
I got to clean my windows.
All of my energy to them.
That's why you're the best, Craig.
Can't name
Much
everybody.
love. Much love. Deeds, who you got?
Now, I'm just thinking of Charles Xavier and Professor X putting on like that helmet. I want him to like see all the clean windows around the world. Like, oh, all the dirty windows. Yeah. That's where my head goes. But yeah, just thank you, everybody. Thanks for Craig coming in. We got to get IWCA to sponsor the museum this year, see what they can do to help out. So window cleaners, let's put our energy to get you and everybody out there. Thanks everybody for watching.
Well, WCR might sponsor us for the trip. I don't know. We got to talk to everybody.
Your display is awesome. We got to get the museum. So let's support you and everything you guys do. And thanks everybody for watching. Thanks Kylie for her help. Thanks Jason for being there and making it work.
Hell yeah. I want to say thanks to Craig again for popping in. I want to say thanks to Grace, who's behind the scenes. I know I thought she said she was going to get out, but I know she's still there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Grace. I want to ask Grace to tell Hunter hello and let him know that I haven't forgot. We still want to have you. Hey, Grace, I still want to have Hunter on. It's important to me. And I had a great conversation with him. But I want to say thank you to everybody who popped in this morning. The new people, Cody, who popped in. Shout outs to our pal Squeegee Tom, who's been dealing with some health stuff. Shout outs to him as well for getting the cover of American Window Cleaner magazine.
Awesome.
I can't think of a more well-deserving dude in the business. Again, shout out to Josiah, his son, who's been holding the fort down for him. Shout out to my guy John Magdos and all of our friends who I consider family, who join us every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Shout out to Fred for being a good boy.
He was a good boy today.
Thank you to Kylie and you for being who you are. You guys keep this show going. Cheers to everyone. I hope everyone has a fantastic effing Friday and a glorious, glorious weekend. Craig Hendzel, I love you, brother. You're the man. Thanks for popping in. I hope everybody has a great weekend. We'll catch you on Monday. We've got some great guests coming this week. Stay tuned on the Pro Window Cleaning Forum so you can see who we're going to have.
Change your rubbers, everybody.
Change your rubbers. And I hope your passion bucket's full, everyone. Much love. WCR, thank you. Zero, thank you. Y'all are the best.
Thanks, guys.
Craig, I love you.